Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Regina Sunshine, coming to you live from what is always a beautiful day for me here in Douglasville, Georgia, with the Regina Sunshine Show, where I bring you my version of midday motivation, helping you get a Regina Sunshine state of mind. And I'm so excited about today's show. It's very rare that I have one guest. And I have grown to recognize when there's one guest for a show, that means that person has some things that need to be said and highlighted. So we're going to spend a good bit of time today talking to Mr. Carl Carter, who is over here already excited, and I love it. But I do want to mention, for those who don't know, August the 24th is the Awesome Girl Awards, 5-year anniversary of the Awesome Girl Awards. I'm so excited. I'm already tired, and we hadn't gotten there yet because I've been working around the clock. But for those who don't know, the Awesome Girl Awards is an award show that we started with Regina Sunshine Global Network in an effort to celebrate girls who would normally be celebrated. I've said before that most of our kids are celebrated for academics and athletics, and maybe every now and then an entertainer, right? But what about the kids that are out in the community doing great work, or have started their own businesses, or are inventors, or just great kids, right? They're living on purpose, they're operating in their gifts and talents, and they need to be celebrated for being who God has called them to be. And so we started the Awesome Girl Awards. And so in celebration of this being 5 years, we are launching the I Am an Awesome Girl collaboration book. 25 girl authors, all sharing why they are an awesome girl. And I want to read you their names if my phone is going to cooperate, because it's gone off several times here. And Shannon, my producer for today, shout out to Shannon, it's not coming up. So we may have to do it on the laptop during break. But we've got 25 girls ages, and the book is actually age 5 to 18, because I have some girls that were past Awesome Girls that are now 18 or graduating from high school in their senior year, and they want to be a part of the book too. So 25 girls, all telling why they believe they're an awesome girl. When I tell you this is the favorite project that I've ever worked on, I'm so excited. We're going to reveal the cover at the event. Nobody has seen the cover except for a few people on my team and a few people in the streets that I just can't help but be excited and show it to people. But the parents haven't seen the cover, and I'm excited about this project. But outside of those 25 girls, we have 9 girls in this class of awesome girls. When I tell you, every year these girls continue to inspire me and bless me in such a major way. I know this award show is for them, but I tell everybody I get more out of this than anybody else possibly could, because I get the opportunity to meet some tremendous people, meet some girls that I know are going to be world changers, and know that I had the opportunity to meet them in the beginning before they blew up, if that makes sense. But these 9 girls, along with an all-girl award show. Now, we have added in a few adults. Marissa Mitchell, news anchor for Fox 5, has agreed to come and co-MC our event with Daytime, one of our past awesome girls. I'm excited about that. We've got Ronnie Thomas with Fun Weird Science. They're going to be doing science experiments with the girls. We've got Christina Fernandez from 80-20 Fit Kickboxing bringing out the bag, and she's going to let the girls hit the bag and kick. And it's going to be a tremendous, not so normal kind of event. And I love that, because our kids don't all fit into one box. Different things interest different kids. And so we're excited about the opportunity for them to come and be kids and have a good time and be celebrated and recognize that their uniqueness is God's gift to the world. Because I've said this many times, every one of us in the body is gifted in a different way and have a different purpose in the earth. But when we all do what we're supposed to do, and we are what we're supposed to be, all the needs get met. So it's a beautiful thing to allow people to enter into a space and just be who God has created them to be in that space. All right. So if you want to get a ticket for the Awesome Girl Awards, you want to pre-order the book, we still have vendor spots available. We still have sponsor spots available. Go to reginasunshine.com, click on the Awesome Girl Awards page, and support. If you just want to donate to the girls, I can't tell you everything that's going to happen. We got so many surprises. Just know I've been feeling a rumbling in the earth about this event. And this is the game changer. Everybody's lives are getting ready to change. And I'm excited. All right. Other than that, the rest of the lineup for today at Regina Sunshine Global Network at 5 o'clock, we got Focus Forward with Robin. She's actually interviewing me. It's her 1-year anniversary show, and so she wanted to bring me on. which is always uncomfortable for me. I'm really honest. I'm used to being the one asking the questions, but not answering the questions. And so it's going to be interesting as we talk about 1 year later, Regina Sunshine Global Network, and just all the things that have happened, not only in my life, but in Robin's life over the course of this past year. And then at 9 o'clock, we have The Curve, which is our version of a roundtable women's talk show from a curvy woman's perspective with Shannon Deneen and Melissa Waller, as well as possibly some featured guests. So that's it. That's everything I have in terms of announcements. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, I am forgetting something, Shannon. Got to mention our corporate sponsors for this event. You got to shout your sponsors out. A big shout out to the Andrew and Walter Young YMCA for sponsoring and hosting us for this event. Another shout out to Mass Tort Support, founded by, I think it's Andrea Hirsch and Rowena Silvera Beck. They are corporate sponsors for the event. Big blessing. I have to tell you guys how this happened. I put out an email that I was looking for a couple of sponsors to sponsor each of the girls. And within 10 minutes, I got one business owner that I know well who said, I'll sponsor 2 girls. And then right after that, another business owner said, I'll sponsor a girl. And the next email was from Rowena Silvera Beck. And she says, we got them all. We'll sponsor every one of them. And that's how God works. And I love it. So shout out to them for stepping in and wanting to be a blessing to these girls. I can't wait for you to meet these 2 amazing women that are partnering with me to change the lives of these girls. Other corporate sponsors, we have Ziggy and Tootie Cakes. Ziggy and Tootie are 9 and 7-year-olds that own their own bakery. It's a brick and mortar bakery. They're not baking out of their home. They got a commercial kitchen and everything. And so they are sponsoring the event. They happen to also be Awesome Girl honorees. And our last, the Shoe Fetish Movement, Miss Sharon Bennett is another corporate sponsor for us. So I'm so thankful for people that are vision carriers, people who catch the vision and they run with it. Because so often when it's your baby, when it's a thing that your heart is invested in, not everyone sees it the way you do. So God sends people who catch that vision and who know exactly what's supposed to happen, and they run ahead of you sometimes making it happen. And so I'm thankful for that, which leads me into what I'm thankful for today. We always go to the first break talking about something that I'm thankful for, and I guess I already jumped into that. And I've said it a couple times, and some of you are probably saying, you keep saying you're thankful for vision carriers, because I am. There's so many things that we cannot do on our own, and it takes other people to come along beside you who have a similar spirit and a similar heart, and they want to see great things done, and they come along beside you and they partner with you. They get in the trenches and they love you and they support you. And if I start naming the people around me right now that have had my back, I'm going to forget somebody, but I have to say this. Most of the people that are in my life right now that have really taken a hold of the vision, not only of the Awesome Girl Awards, but Regina Sunshine Global Network, are people that are over a year ago weren't in my life. The people that were around that I thought would ride or die for me and would be here no matter what, a lot of them have left me. And I was out here in a period of time where I was operating on faith. It was me and it was God. And I'm reminded that sometimes we're in those spaces so that we're reminded that even when it looks like we're alone, you're not. It's you and it's him. And if it's you and it's him and you're okay, everything else will be okay. And after a period of time, people started showing up out of the blue. Hey, I see what you're doing. I like what you're doing. Can I help you? And this team that's around me now are people that I didn't know. People that I probably wouldn't have picked out of a crowd, but they're exactly who I needed to fulfill God's purpose for me in the earth. And I'm thankful for that. So that's what I'm thankful for today. All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be live with Mr. Smooth himself. Yeah, I said it. Carl Carter's in the building. Can't wait for you to meet him. You're live with Regina Sunshine here on the Regina Sunshine Show. Where? At Regina Sunshine Global Network. right, you guys, you're back live on the air with Regina Sunshine here on the Regina Sunshine Show, where Regina Sunshine Global Network. And I'm so excited to have my one and only guest. And a lot of y'all like, really? One and only guest? With me today, Mr. Carl Carter. How are you?
I'm fine, man. Thank you.
So good to have you here in your white.
Yeah, I always wear white. I'm dark brother, and I've been told I look good in white.
You do look good in white.
Yeah.
I just didn't know until you told me that you wear it all the time.
Yeah, well, recently I just started wearing it.
It's
all
a good
the time.
signature look for you.
I
It's
probably
the,
like
it's the type of thing when you walk in and be like, we know what Carl's wearing.
Yeah.
You'll know him when he walks through the door.
Exactly.
Well, I always like to mention how I met someone, and I think it's your publicist reached out to me, told me you were coming to town, and she thought this might be a great interview. And so I'm glad. Always good when people introduce me to good people. So thank you for being here.
I appreciate you having me. And I've seen your show, and you have a wonderful spirit and an uplifting show.
Well, you sent me the sweetest email. I have to say this because a lot of times I don't really communicate with guests until they get here, other than getting the bio and the headshot,
Right.
that type of stuff.
Right.
But you actually sent me an email and you were like, I watched your show and I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to meeting you.
Right.
And it was, you never know what a person needs. Sometimes we're so bogged down with work and everything else, and you're like, am I really, do I want to just go get a job and just do something else, right? And you sent that email, and it was really a bright spot in my day.
Well,
so I thank you.
I knew I was coming to see a person and not just being on, a blog or TV show or radio station. I was coming to, visit and sit down and conversate with a person. So I wanted to connect with you before I got here.
I don't think you know how unusual that is.
Really?
So do that. I'm telling you, it's Shannon's shaking her head. It's very unusual, but I appreciated it so much.
Yeah, no
Well, do this for the audience. Tell our audience a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Carl Carter, and of course I'm a professional artist, but I didn't set out to become a professional artist. This all started with me being hungry and having to feed my family. And up until I say a year ago, I still wasn't on that quest of, becoming popular or whatever. It's just that it came with the territory. It was like, how can I up my status to make more money, or what can I do to, make more sales? And it was always leaning toward a professional, being more professional, more proficient, just getting it out there, doing it better. And so you doing that, I indirectly built the brand, not even trying. It was just trying to eat.
Well, that says a lot about your gift for you to be in a space where you're not even trying to create a brand, and the brand begins to develop on its own.
That's exactly what happened. And just like you said, I was listening to you when I was sitting over there. The people come into my life now in my circle. I didn't set out for them. I didn't never know I was gonna meet these guys, but my circle is just people that was around me. Hey, I do this. Let's do this together. And now, we're traveling and we're doing shows, and everybody's passionate about what they're doing. And I've also found out that, I encourage a lot of people to do what they do. So now that I know that, I got that gift to encourage people, I love doing that, Other artists, even just people that just trying to stay in their lane and do what they do. They look at somebody like me that was, almost homeless, and now he's feeding himself on his talent. That's an inspiration to a lot of people.
It is. Well, since you mentioned it, let's roll back time then. Let's start before the art, because you said this is not something that you set out to pursue.
No, it's not.
So when you were younger, what was the dream? What did you think you would be doing with your life?
I thought I was gonna, like everybody, come from where I'm from, Muskegon Heights, Michigan. I thought I was gonna be a professional basketball player, or a professional football player. But as you can see, I'm kind of short. I stopped growing, wasn't going to do that. I got in the 12th grade, and them guys was really big playing football. Knew I wasn't going to be no professional football player. So like most people in the inner city across the nation, I joined the military to escape that unemployment within the inner city. During that, didn't feel right, And then, I went on from military to a steel worker of 12 years. Had a back injury, and that when my art kicked in. I had to figure out a way to feed my family. I was so far away from home, and there was no help. There was no uncles, there was no aunties to call. There was nobody to say, "Can I borrow this? Can we stay over there tonight? Cause the lights are off." I had to man up, you know, in a big way. To make a long story short, after my back injury, the state wasn't giving, because my girlfriend at the time, you know, so the state wasn't giving me any assistance. So I literally went from a $25 an hour steel worker job to zero.
Wow.
Yeah, so after my surgery and everything, you know, the doctor released me to go back to work, but I couldn't do that same job. So I did odd jobs for a little while, and I would literally come home and see if my stuff was out there on the curb, because I already had about 4 of those notices, you know. So I remember my wife bought me this starter kit, and she was like, "Well, if you're gonna do it, you need to do it now," you know. So I started painting, and I was in the frame of mind, if I could just teach myself how to paint people, I can paint what's in my head, and I think I can sell some of it. And you know, so I was painting. I finally finished 2 pieces. I took it downtown when after a Seahawks game, Seattle Seahawks game. And I laid my work out, and I just sat there and started raining a little bit. And finally, you know, they throwing cards down at me all night. And finally somebody said, "Hey man, how much for that?" I said, about $250. He said, "Well, yeah, you know," and then he bought it. And I was like, "Whoa," and that was enough money. That was enough money for us to eat for the rest of the month, gas in the car, you know. I'm going to tell you, there's a big difference between $20 can make a difference between living and dying when you broke. $20 go a long way when you
learn
broke.
how to stretch it.
Oh my God.
You learn how to stretch it.
Oh my God. So back then, you know, like I say, lights get turned off all the time. And the kids didn't know any better because, you know, they're grown now. But back then, we used to. I don't think so. I think everything happens for